guys, welcome back to my channel. It is super cold out, which is why I'm in my truck. But I'll show you how I did the wiring for my headlights, and I'll show you how they react and what they do. So, let me get this hood popped real quick. Alright, so what I have here is I have my two red wires. I have them all under here, but they lead to a 16 gauge wire that I have heat shrinked all right here, which these are my two over here, and I have two more over there, and a 16 gauge wire that runs all through here. And I have it tapped into my fuse box, which is just to my ignition, so that when my keys turn, my lights come on, but it's not getting, you know, 24/7 power. Because I had it tapped into what was it? Let me check real quick. I forgot. Alright, yeah. So I had it tapped into my cigarette lighter, but I don't want it there, because that gets 24/7 power. And then, like I said, I have two 16 gauge wires under here that I have connected. So I got my two black wires right here, the 16 gauge wire that goes all the way across, and they come down here, and then it's heat shrinked, and I have it up and around into my negative battery, so that whenever I turn it on, it gets power when my ignition is turned over. So it won't get power unless it's cranked over like that. So I'll show you how that looks like. Just to give y'all another explanation of how I did it all, I have a black and a red wire that's connected to my high beam, and a black and a red wire that's connected to my low beam on both sides. So there's 8 wires total. And I have the two red wires, one from my high beam, one from my low beam, and I have that connected to a 16 gauge wire, and I have that leading all the way across my front end to my other parts of my headlights, my high beam and my low beam, where I connect those two red wires over there to the 16 gauge wire, and I run that to it's called an out of circuit fuse tab, and I have that connected into my fuse box on the ignition part of it. I was going to put it in my cigarette lighter, but I found out that gets constant power, and I don't want that. So I connected it to the ignition part, so that whenever I turn my key, the DRLs come on, and then whenever I turn my key off, the DRLs turn off. And same with my negative wires. I have it where my negative wire, my high beam and my low beam are connected to a 16 gauge wire, leading all the way across, connected to my high beam and my low beam negative wires on the other side, just like the red wire, like the positive one. And I have that connected to the negative part of my battery, so that I didn't have to try to find the bolt on the frame or whatever and have to clean it all off and bolt it down, because it already had wires to it. So the battery was just easier for me, and I kind of cleaned my wires up. I'll show y'all what that looks like. And if y'all did enjoy the video, please hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you can see whenever I post. I upload 2 to 3 times a week, and I would love to see y'all follow along for the journey of the truck build. Peace.